This is an interview with Chad. He's got a 7-month-old, didn't have big savings, and a condo that he had outgrown. And he reached out to us in January because he thought he was going to be years away. Yeah, he closed on a home in May and on his wife's birthday. It was $1 million home using just a 3% down payment, beat out another offer that had a 20% down payment, and they ended up paying $40,000 less than homes that he lost bids on. Chad's story is proof that when people think I'm not ready, that usually just means nobody's shown you the right strategy yet. Chad's story tells you how they used terms in the contract over the down payment and the price, how they used balancing of their debt and their savings to find out they were ready to buy a home in months, not years. And of course, parallel planning to get it all done. All of that helped Chad and his lovely wife, who got the birthday gift of her lifetime, discover all the new options that they actually had as buyers in today's market. So grab your popcorn, gang. Listen to this one.
How to Buy a Home educates, protects, and connects first-time homebuyers to qualified vetted realtors in their area. Whether you're looking for DIY information or step-by-step guidance, How to Buy a Home is the #1 resource for first-time homebuyers.
Hey, everybody, welcome in. I've got Chad here from the Pacific Northwest, one of my favorite parts of the country. Chad, how are you?
Doing well. Glad to be here.
Now, you just closed. I have this as was it around May 11th? Is that correct?
That is correct. Ironically, it was my wife's birthday was when we got the keys. So
no way.
What a gift, right?
Oh my gosh, that's awesome. And then let's see. So you came to me in January of this year.
Yeah.
You closed in May on your wife's birthday. And when you came to me in January, your new child was 7 months old. Is that correct?
Yeah. He was 7 months old. Yeah. Approaching 7 months. Yeah.
Okay. Well, we obviously have a lot to talk about because that's an incredible feat and a wonderful gift for your wife. Tell us your biggest tip, your biggest aha moment, your biggest takeaway.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, the biggest tip I can give is just to start the conversation, right? That was my biggest hesitation was I don't want to have a conversation because I'm not ready. So I don't want to waste my time, waste anybody else's time. And then come to find out I was a lot closer to being ready than I had originally thought. So I think the biggest tip would just be don't hesitate, just reach out. It's just a conversation. You know what I mean? And it can only help you and only benefit you.
It's such fantastic advice. And I'm so glad you're saying it because this year, especially, I've been saying that all day long. You actually just repeated what I said in the podcast that I recorded yesterday. 20 years of doing this, most people say to me, man, gosh, I should have done this last year or the year before. It's not your fault. And thankfully, you're here and you found the podcast and I'm so excited for you guys. The birthday gift of a lifetime. Why did you guys want to buy a home? You had a 7-month-old. It was just after, the holidays, and you decided to start listening to me and reach out. Why now?
Yeah, I mean, it was a long time coming. We've been thinking and dreaming about buying a home for, a year and a half. Essentially, when we got married in 2024, I worked from home. We had a condo. It was great when I had no kid, right? So I had my own office, my own space, and then fast forward to having a baby, they took over as my office as a nursery. So now I'm working in the living room. I got promoted. So now I'm in the client facing meetings all the time and not to have to quiet my voice. And when he's taking a nap, be quiet. So essentially we needed more space, right? We want to grow our family. We don't want just one baby, right? We want a couple, maybe a few, who knows what the future holds, right? But we needed space to do that comfortably. But also I work from home. So I needed some space to be able to shut the door and kind of focus and get things what I need to get done.
Yeah, it's so funny. Everyone is so excited about the working from home. And then I'm like, I understand a lot of people aren't having kids, but most of those people have pets. So either way, it's have y'all thought this through? Cause
it's a lot. The kid part is a lot. It's very fun. It's a new challenge, but it's really easy to be distracted when you work from home and you can look over to your right and your kid's just crawling around or screaming because he's happy or playing with his toys. And it is easily distracting. And there's times where, I need to turn it on and focus for work and get some things done. So that's essentially the main reason was we just needed some space, man. We just needed some space to grow our family. And so I can kind of shut the door and focus on work.
Good segue, because I understand losing an office to a nursery. We eventually, when the second one came along, lost my wife had the most beautiful dining room set. It looked like it was from the royal family, big back chairs. Yeah, gone, and a Thomas the Train giant play thing.
Yeah.
And we ate in the kitchen for 4 years. So what was the space difference? And then, what was the difference in the original layout, beds and baths, and the price for that rent? And then where you're at now, beds and baths and square footage and the price for your mortgage?
So the price was $2,050 we were paying for rent a month, which went up steadily year over year, kind of like what you've been preaching. Things kind of just rent just slowly increases, right? This wasn't going to stop. It was 2 bed, 2 bath. It was, I think, roughly around like 1,400 square feet. We lived in a condo that had a single car garage, but the way our condo was laid out is we had to go up the stairs to get to our condo. So our front door opens and all you do is you're greeted with the staircase, a pretty steep one, that is. So we had to go. So grocery days were fun, right? Go to Costco, come home. I'm doing laps up and down the stairs to get everything up, So that's all it was. It was nice because we lived off a golf course. It was quiet, good community. It had a balcony. It was great. But again, needed the space. So now what we're in is a 4 bed, 2.5 bath, 2,300 square foot house. Paying double what we paid for in the rent. So our mortgage is right around $4,000. But with promotions at work, and we can afford it, which is not terrible. So everything kind of worked out in its favor, and it's ironic how you upgrade your size by almost 1,000 square feet and how much you don't have. Like you think you have a lot of stuff, and then you fill your house up, and you're like, I have nothing right now.
Yeah.
So that's where we're at right now.
I have told a lot of people that they're like, well, I don't know what to do. I'm like, leave one entire room empty, and then have a housewarming party, and then people come over, just say, oh, we're going to go antiquing and decorate the room. And then after the housewarming party, put all the boxes in there and figure it out.
Yeah. That's how it is. That's how it is. Our family comes over, we hide the boxes, family leaves, put the box right back out.
Yep. Okay. I've known you for all of 30 seconds now. And you seem like, a pretty straightforward, calculated guy. To reach out to me and go, because when you reach out, you're like, give me a unicorn, let's go.
Yeah.
Were you and your wife, were you guys ready for the jump from, doubling, understanding that you were going to be, oh my gosh, that was incredible, from 2 bedrooms to 4 bedrooms. Was that like a family decision? Like when the promotion came in, you're like, okay, we can afford it, let's do it.
Yeah, it was more so that. It was more so that. I think without the promotion, it would be kind of hard, like penny pitching. But as soon as I got it, landed, signed the contract with my, because I've been at my company for 5 years now. So as soon as I kind of got rolled through, I got the promotion, jumped my salary about $50K, which is great. And that's when I was like, okay, we can do this. You can go to work part-time. I can handle all the expenses, and we can still live comfortably, which is essentially what motivated me to reach out, and also just set a plan, right? Because I think we'll go into it in a little bit, but I have a couple things to say about the benefits of choosing a unicorn versus not, because I had some interesting conversations and experiences with folks that were unicorns.
Okay, I will definitely put a pin in that. So okay. I just want to wrap this conversation up around this, because you guys ended up with a home over $500,000. When you came to me, you didn't come to me with 50K or 75K. So no. You were, just at a regular spot. But I've seen so many people have been able to do it. Did you end up saving a big chunk of money from when you first reached out to me to when you purchased the home? Or did you guys use a low down payment?
We did a little bit of both. Okay. A lot of the shows, a lot of podcasts that you did, a lot of episodes that you stemmed about, you can pay down your debt, but also save at the same time. You don't got to just tackle one and ignore the other. I took that to heart, because that's what I was doing, was I was tackling debt and ignoring savings. Right. And then after I listened to that episode, I'm like, there we go. That's how I get my savings up. And then I was able to double my savings in 3 months, by just doing that. Which is kind of crazy.
It's so hard for me to in 30 seconds, Like, I can't do a social media reel to explain, hey, just so you know, your debt to income ratio is based completely on your monthly, and you might have $5,000 left, but it might only be a $200 payment. And a $200 payment really only is about maybe $30,000, $40,000 worth of home. So maybe put that $5,000 in your savings and just pay the minimum. Say, yeah, already too long, too boring. No one's going to listen to that.
I see. Yeah.
But I'm glad that you took in. It's the hardest thing to explain, balancing debt versus savings. And especially today when there's so much turmoil going on with the economy. And, as we're recording this today, first trillionaire ever. Congratulations, Elon. Really hope you're doing something that's going to make it work for the rest of us. The concept of doing multiple things at once, I understand why people are so laser focused with the blinders on, just trying to do one thing at a time. So I'm glad. Was it the financial end of things, or was it the other things where you found what I affectionately like to call a donkey?
It was more the financial part. It was just like understanding our situation, where we could go with it, and then honestly just applying your advice. Like, I binged your podcast every day, 7 days a week. I think 5-6 episodes a day. I was in it deep. I was just so addicted to learning and like, what can I do to like learn the process, but how can I better my situation? And that's when I just fell off the deep end. And again, my wife showed me the podcast, and I kind of left in the dust and just listened to it on my own. And I would listen to, again, like 5-6 episodes a day, just like just wanting to soak in as much content as I can.
I love that. And because it's there for people to do that, and the people that can do that, I know there are buyer's agents listening to this right now, brand new. And guess what? That's how they're getting their training. Fabulous. Good. The more people that know this, the better. But dude, I'm just like you. Now, one time, a long time ago, I met a guy in Denver. I was there, or Nashville, I can't remember which one, to meet a whole bunch of the unicorns. And one of them brought a client. When I started talking, he didn't recognize my voice because he listens to me at 2 times speed. So when you're doing 5 or 6 a day, were you speeding me up at least, please?
No, I was just doing the dishes. Had you in my ears, right? Like,
nice.
Commuting. Every time I went to the store, I turned you on, right? Like anywhere I could squeeze you in, like to listen to something, doing some work. If I didn't have to like be on a camera or be in a Zoom meeting, I had you on, right? Like, I just try to fit you into my life as much as possible. So I feel like we were besties before I even like jumped on this call, because I was like, I listened to you so much. I have your tone memorized. Like, you can do this. Like, I got this all in my head.
Oh my gosh, that is. Everybody wants to go on an app and get the answers in 5 clicks. It takes a little more, and you doubled your monthly output. You and your family had to have somebody to talk to. And fortunately, you got my boy up there. You talked to Hawk. So tell me about the unicorn experience and the differences in dealing with someone who's a first-time homebuyer specialist, and also a local area specialist, and also a strategic advisor, not just a door opener.
Yeah, man. Hawk is such a blessing. I love that guy. Not only is he a towering 6'8" human being, he's just huge, right?
But and he wears a big hat all the time when I hang out with him. I'm like, dude, you're already gigantic. It's like, I feel like he's Wemby when I'm hanging out with him.
No, that's every time we looked at a house, he had that hat. That's why, like, I just had to look for the hat and look for his car. And I was like, there's Hawk. It was really easy to spot him. But no, it's crazy. Like, before I reached out to you, like, I had spoken to a few realtors, a couple friends, local people that we just kind of mutually knew through like a friendship, whatever, reached out, and the difference in conversations between my first conversation with Hawk and to these guys, night and day. Like, at a high level, without getting into the weeds. Every conversation I've had before I met Hawk was strictly around, how much are you making? What did you get pre-approved yet? Like, honestly, like, I can walk you through like the financial process, but that's pretty much it. Can't really do much unless you're pre-approved. That was every convo that I had. And I was like, well, thanks. You didn't teach me anything that I'm looking for, but I appreciate it. Thanks for literally stamping, like, thanks for like just letting me know that I need to talk to David. That's when I reached out to you. Right. And then you hooked me up with Hawk. My first meeting with Hawk was in person at a Starbucks. He drove to us to Starbucks like 5 minutes down the road. We spent over an hour talking, and not once did he mention the word pre-approval. All he did was educate about the process. How does he help people in my current situation, and how he planned on doing the same thing with me. And then honestly, we just talked about like my goals. What are my goals? What are our family goals? Where do we see ourselves as a family in, the next 2, 3, 5, 10 years? Right. And like, what are our financial goals? Like, not like from a pre-approval perspective, but like, what do we want to do in our life? Right. And honestly, like that meeting could have went 2 hours, and I'm sure even if it did, he wouldn't have brought that up. Right. And towards the end, I like looked at my wife and I was like, this is the guy that we need to work with. Like, this guy is I can just tell off the bat. I'd never met him before. First time meeting him, he had every interest to help me succeed and help Sarah, my wife and I, my wife Sarah, and I essentially find our home that we need to raise our family. And from there, it was kind of full speed ahead in terms of just education. Right? I called him like once a week, just like asking questions like, hey, I'm sorry to bug you, but I have more questions. Always happy to talk, always willing to pick up the phone and like spend as much time as I needed to answer my questions. And again, not mentioning the word pre-approval or I can't talk to you because you're not pre-approved, right? He went out of his way to even say, hey, if you're like 2 years out, I don't care. Like, I want to be able to be here and help you plan and strategize. And so how can we get to what you're trying to accomplish, which is home ownership, right? So that's Hawk, man. Hawk has been great. Like, looking at houses with him, I relied on his expertise because he, in his past life, was a contractor, an electrician.
Yep.
So he had an eye for things that I personally would have never thought about looking at. But we would go to a house, he would just go wander off in the back and like do his thing. And then in 5 minutes, he comes back and I'm like, all right, this is what I see in ABC. This is some potential like dangers you should worry about if we wanted to offer it on this house, which is ABC. I recommend we probably don't look at this house anymore because this is what we found. This is how much it's going to cost out of pocket if you were to close. So let's just like focus on something else. And I was like, okay, this works. It helps me out because I have no idea what I'm looking at when I'm looking at a house besides, ooh, this is fancy. Ooh, this is a big room. Ooh, what a big kitchen. This is great. Oh, look at that backyard. So it was really valuable. Like, I would not be in this position without Hawk. Like, I'm truly thankful for him. I tell him this all the time. I bake him sourdough loaf. Too, like just as thank yous. Like, I love baking sourdough, so like as thank you, I will just bake him a loaf. Like, dude, thank you so much. This is the least I can do is give you a loaf of bread.
I'm right. I am writing that down for my next trip to the Pacific Northwest.
I got you.
You're talking to an Italian. You're talking to an Italian. We don't. I've never made it. My grandma never made it, but boy, it's in my house all the time. Okay, that could be a whole nother podcast, us talking sourdough. But because my Italian grandmother then moved to San Francisco, which has primo sourdough bread up there.
Yeah.
So many wonderful things to unpack there. Yeah, this is a perfect moment for me to do a little side note. Everything that Chad just explained, if you're listening to this podcast, let me explain to you the way the real estate industry works. When you're a new person, you are told, do not waste your time with someone until they're ready to buy. The big team members will tell, don't send me someone until they're ready to buy. Send to the lender, they figure it out, and then send them back to me. When I met Jason years ago, it was at a big realtor function, and I just saw this giant in a hat. So I started talking to him, and I immediately knew you came to him with still an infant, and you and your wife are trying to figure out your goals. This is not just going to be, this isn't just one purchase. It's not even like people are like, oh, it's just like a car. I'm going to have it for 5 years. No. Everything you do with this is going to financially set you up for the rest of your life.
Mm-hmm.
And understanding the goals is so important. That was such a meaningful message that you just shared, and makes me so glad that I decided to start this crazy thing. Everyone thought I was nuts. And I'm like, I know some pretty dope people around the country. And all I have to do is get a microphone and do that Starbucks meeting in a podcast. Because everyone should not expect, they should demand that Starbucks meeting from their realtor and from their lender, and not just be an order taker and a door opener. Yeah. I'd asked you at one point when we were emailing back and forth, which was also funny because Jason was like, dude, I'm on my third one. You're doing fine. We were talking about kids on the text chain at one time. I remember.
Yeah.
What were some of your main obstacles coming into this?
Main obstacles was just like we talked about like briefly, just managing debt and savings, just like
Yeah.
understanding like I don't have to dump all this money into my debt. I can just pay the minimums, right, and just focus on savings because we can do both. Because we doubled our savings in 3 months by just doing this.
Yeah.
Right? Yes, the promotion helped, right, but just the change in mindset helped, right? So even if I had to change of mindset a year ago when I wasn't making what I'm making right now, it still would have been just as beneficial, like in terms of how much money we would have doubled and tripled in our savings in the same amount of time. So just like shifting our mindset of being able to do that. But I think the main obstacle that we faced was like during the process of it all. The search process was very fun. Looking at houses, like walking to people's houses, about, oh, this is really cool. Playing house and, oh, I think we'll put this there. Like, oh, let's throw the wall there. Let's rip this carpet out and put some hardwood. Like doing all the scenarios, but putting several offers in a home and thinking that your offer is really good, it's competitive. We synced with Hawk. Like, hey, this is a good competitive offer. I think we have a good chance. For it to get turned down was very gut punching at first, but then it started getting like really old, right? Because we put like 5 offers on a house and nothing got accepted. We're like, dude, is it us? Like, do we look too young? I didn't bring my kids to these showings so they can see that we have a family. Like, you know what I mean? Like, what do we need to do this? And then Hawk just really emphasized the fact that like, on to the next, right? Like your house is out there. These just weren't it. So he did a really good job of obviously like his professional like knowledge and like helping us with the process and structuring deals, et cetera. But he was also like a good mentor in the fact of like, making sure that we didn't lose our minds like throughout the process of just reassuring us that like, hey, out of my experience, that just means it wasn't a good fit for you, which is fine. There's plenty more houses out there. Now let's go find your house. And then obviously we did, right? We found ironically, what's great about the whole obstacle thing. I don't think I told you this in an email. The house that we landed is the similar size house, same kind of like 4 bed, 2.5 bath, 2,300 plus square foot house. We got it for $40,000 less list price than other houses we put offers on. So not only did we get the same house that we wanted, but we paid $40,000 less. Discount. Right? It was a discount. So I was like, yeah, this is no good. This is great. Right?
Oh, that's fantastic. And now I have to ask, when you open the door, do you have to go up a stairway right away?
No.
Like the old condo?
No.
Okay, good.
No, yeah.
Okay, good.
Thank God,
right? It's such an interesting thing. Of course, I want to do a podcast and tell everyone, if you follow this, it's going to be so much easier than everyone else. But the truth is, the market's always going to be the market, and there's always going to be an obstacle. You happen to hit a very low inventory Pacific Northwest market. And I've had people go, I don't want to do this when the bidding wars are, and then they call me 6 months later and go, well, now prices are too high. Guess why? Because every time you put an offer in, there were 8, 9, 10 people that didn't get a house, and they're doing just like you. They're coming back next weekend. Use Chad's story as encouragement for yourself, listeners, that if you have to battle, the battle only means that you're going to get some equity pretty darn fast, because the home prices are going to keep going because of that. I had asked you if this was sooner than you thought. Like when you reached out in January, did you think you were going to be sitting in your house talking to me by, summertime?
Absolutely not. No, I thought at least like maybe November, December when things would cool down a little bit, like maybe I needed 20% down, maybe I didn't, but obviously they had bought the podcast and you educated me on that fact I didn't need that. But even regardless of that, I was like, I still did not think I would be sitting here in my office. We're like, 2.5 weeks fully lived into the house now, 3 weeks. Fully because after we got the keys, we did some work and stuff like that because we could afford it because we saved $40,000
nice
on it, right? So I had no idea that I would be here right now in June, especially speaking to you on a podcast. This is kind of crazy.
It's always a joy to see the look on people's faces. I get a bigger kick out of seeing the look on people's faces, like at Starbucks meeting number 3. After we've done the goals and I go, okay, by the way, your goals, we can probably hit that in 2 or 3 months based on the current market. And everyone's like, what? And it's because the rest of the industry gave you the answer that those other guys gave you. And if no one's educating you on what the potentials are, then, even go to any AI or any Google, you're going to get just a the minimum requirement to buy a home as opposed to all the giant things. I mean, you've kind of already answered it, but I asked you at one point, and before we had the interview, what pitfalls do you think were avoided? Because we keep calling him Hawk. Hawk's his last name. Well, it's not his complete last name, but that's what we call him. But I just realized a hawk and a donkey are both animals, and we're probably confusing the hell out of everybody. So
probably.
The unicorn is Hawk, and he's up in the Pacific Northwest. What pitfalls did you avoid having your unicorn Hawk?
Just hiring the wrong person. Like, I could not imagine going through the process and journey without Hawk. And also, side note, what a great name that is. What a great nickname is that, right? Hawk. It's just
Dude, for him,
I'm jealous. I'm envious. Yeah. It's crazy.
Me too.
I'm crazy. No, yeah, just hiring the wrong team, man. Like, it truly, like, having conversations with other lenders that weren't considered unicorn lenders, right? Or other non-unique other donkeys, essentially, right? Like, It's eye-opening, like the difference of service and the difference of actual like transparency and care that you get from a unicorn. So I don't think that I would be even in this situation if I didn't reach out to you, if I didn't reach out to, didn't have the conversation with Hawk and like didn't work with a unicorn team, because they truly worked hard to get us into the situation that we're in and help us achieve our goals. And the great thing about it is I still talk to Hawk, right? It's not like hey, see you later, right? Like, peace out. It's like we stay in touch. It's not like as much as we did during the process, but he does good at like checking in to make sure like, hey, is everything good? Nothing broke, right? Like, do you need anybody? Do you need anybody in my connections that I can set you up with? So it's amazing. I'm truly thankful for you and like coining the term unicorn, because I'd recommend my friends too. I'm like, hey, you got to listen to this podcast. And I got a Unicorn Realtor. Once you understand that terminology, I got you on a Unicorn Realtor. Yeah. Because you need it. Like, just based on my experience.
Yeah. And more than ever, it's needed. The term originally came from me watching SportsCenter about, some 6'8", 300-pound offensive lineman who runs a 4.2. That was like, he's a unicorn.
Yeah.
And it always kind of feels like it's an extra. Like we love our basketball team. It'd be awesome if we had Wembanyama because he's 7'5" and can dribble like Steph Curry, Yeah. But now it's necessary. I mean, you came into this good head on your shoulders. You knew what you were doing. And that's what's so sad is that like the people that had you right there saying, please help me, didn't acknowledge and didn't recognize it. Yeah. And then, when you did get into it, seeing how the market works, you got to have that person that is like Hawk, who isn't done when the deal's done. So he's going to walk you through getting denied and denied, because it's emotionally. Did Sarah get emotional? Did you get emotional? Were there like bummed out moments?
Yeah, for both of us. Yeah, we both had some low moments, especially because we fall in love with something. You're like, envision our family at a house, and then you're like, oh, we have a good chance. It's a great offer, and then it just gets shot down, or you just get ghosted and they accept another offer, and you open Redfin, and that house that you just put an offer on is pending, and you're like, hey, what happened? Did our offer get accepted?
What the hell?
Probably not, right? Because I didn't hear anything. So that's how we found out majority, which is ironic because even Hawk was like, I didn't hear anything from the listing agent. And I'm like, well, that sucks. On to the next. But even saying on to the next, in the back of our head, we're like, are we the problem? Is, what are we, like, what can we do different? Like, are we not good enough? Is this not time? So yeah, it was a lot. It was a lot of process, but it was a lot of, the good thing about having a great wife with you and like a great partner to do life with is the fact that like you can bounce each other off. Like, we can bounce ideas off each other, but you can pick each other up. So when she was on a low, I picked her up. When I was on a low, she picked me up, and we were able to get through it, all the rough patches, just knowing that we had the future, our future goals in mind.
That's fantastic. And being able to, no matter what kind of individual you are, if you are an emotional person or if you are a very practical person, the Unicorn Realtor and Lender will offer both.
Yeah.
Because the fact that you weren't just like punching in your numbers and them going, here's your number. Your Unicorn Lender explained to you why you got to your number, how you get to your number, and I appreciate the fact that you listen to me 5 or 6 episodes a day and finally figured out you don't need 20% down. But
Yeah. Ironically, the offer that we beat was against a 20% down offer. We beat it. We put 3% down.
Terms.
So,
Terms.
Exactly.
I can't tell you how many times. I mean, early in my career, my dad's an old military man. Early in my career, I walked into a house and I saw the hat, and the military calls it scrambled eggs. It's got like the gold stuff on it. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I saw it, went home, knew I was writing an offer. We were writing a VA offer, a veteran offer. We were 10,000 below the next offer. They were 20%. We were 0% down. But boy, if I didn't mention the military 89 times in my email, and they got the deal.
Nice.
And the other side of it is the terms. I know that Hawk probably wrote, did you guys have to tighten up? Did you tighten up your timelines? Inspections fast?
Yeah. Waive. I think because we really wanted this house. So we also were willing to waive the financing working with our lender too. That way, so that was gone. We sped up, we closed in 3 weeks, turnaround inspection time, doubled our earnest money, right? Because we were being serious about it. So there was like a lot of like intricacies to our offer that stuck out clearly to beat someone that was offering 20% down to over $100,000 that they were willing to purchase on this house, right? It was just crazy.
And to new listeners, like go back to you in December. This would have meant nothing to you, all those terms that you just spit out to me, right?
No.
But now you understand, and that's why I try to explain to people, your realtor has to know this stuff backwards and forwards. They have to know if your area is using escalation clauses and counteroffers. My team and I just had one yesterday, and this guy got it because he understood an escalation clause, which is a way that you create your counteroffer so that you'll go higher than whatever the next offer is.
That's what we did. It was an escalation clause. That's what got us the house. It's amazing.
I knew Hawk would do that. But the terms end up being just as important. Those people need to know that you're committed. And to all those buyer's agents out there that are learning how to do this because the industry doesn't train you, everybody should waive the loan contingency. Because if you don't, it tells me you're not prepared, because you should have your pre-approval already done with your lender weeks ahead of time. The only thing you have to keep open is the appraisal. Now, again, if you don't understand all that, great. Hire a unicorn who can. With the entire process, looking at homes, writing offers, your realtor being able to understand contract stuff that you have no idea about. What surprised you the most in the process? The speed of it, and just anything about looking at homes, or was there anything that you went, oh my God, I wasn't expecting that?
The emotional roller coaster we kind of touched on, right? Like you submit your first offer, you get excited, then you just get crushed, and you just keep on calling this the entire time, right? So up and down, up and down, up and down, and it stays up right after you get it. And then the second one is how fast things move once you're able to waive the terms, like we talked about, and how fast things go. There's I think you said it or something. I think my dad did. It goes quiet for like 3 weeks. Like I feel like I didn't get quiet at all because I was like very in tune with Jason and Hawk and like his team. I was like, yo, what's going on? Like, what do we? Are we good? Do we need to do anything? I was in touch with our lender. Like, are we good? What do we need to do? So I feel like very intertwined with the whole process, especially with the inspection. Showed up on the inspection and didn't go to the appraisal because they told me I didn't need to. I was like, I really want to go see the house again. But the way the way things progressed went pretty fast, and that time of 3 weeks flew by. Like I feel like I blinked and I was like, oh crap, we're at the title and escrow, signing our life away right now. Like it's kind of crazy.
Did you get a hand cramp signing all that stuff? It's crazy, right?
No, it was weird. Like we had to sign our middle names, which we've never done before. It was like trying to sign our middle names and figure that out. It wasn't, honestly, that's the biggest surprise, I guess, was like, we feel like we didn't have to sign as much paperwork as we thought. Like a lot of it was digital too. So made life a little easier for us. I was like, okay, this is great. It took like 30 minutes to get through everything and it was easy.
I love carrying individuals who are trying to help us with stuff like parents. It's hard. Usually there is 3 weeks of nothing. You did the whole thing in 3 weeks. Usually they're talking about like a 30, 35, 45 day escrow or closing period. Mm-hmm. And the first couple weeks might be crazy. And then you have a lot of nothing. You had to write the terms. So you were on that roller coaster, or not roller coaster. You were in the whirlwind for 3 weeks, man. Just
it was back to back. It was back to back to back. But again, like you blink and it was done. So I was like, okay, well, that wasn't as bad as we thought, which was nice.
Excellent. I love hearing that. Okay, the last thing I have to ask you, because I always starting to ask people this, especially the folks, because you look a lot younger than me, which means you got a lot of time, bro. Is this the forever home, or are you looking at plan A or plan B and keeping this home, or are you going to sell this one and buy something fatty later?
We're considering both options. This is not going to be forever home.
Nice.
This is not going to be forever home. We like the area. Big fan of it. It's good for what we do want right now. Yeah, it's not forever home. We're just kind of weighing our options right now. We're making upgrades, a little fixed depreciation here and there. And then, in the next 5-7 years, kind of figure out, okay, like, where's our family at now? Like, how many more kids do we add to the picture? Do we need to go move? But yeah, we're kind of weighing both options. Do we keep it, rent it out? Do we just like sell it and use it to go buy a bigger house or a nicer house in a nicer area? We're kind of keeping both options open, which is good that I have Hawk, because he is here to help me navigate that whole process once I'm ready. So, our options are open right now. I think right now our main focus is what can we do to upgrade this place to get some more equity pulled out of it. Not pulled out of it, so I shouldn't have said that, but to gain more equity in our purchase, to see, again, what is that going to lead us to in the next 5 years, 7 years.
I'm sure Hawk will tell you this, your biggest return on investment, your biggest ROI, kitchen, master bath.
Yep.
Everything else is vanity, which is great. If you want to like do something to the bedroom or, but it's kitchen and master bath or where you're going to get an 80-90% return on it when you do the work. The rest of the work, I say, go for it. Fix it up so that you love it. I mean, you guys busted your butt to get here, and it's really interesting. If you could download your brain right now, what you just did for the last 6 months, you can do it again in 6 years. It's just the same process. No down payment, and the difference is you'll start 2 years ahead of time. And you know what I mean? You can start now. And what's the worst thing that happened? You know what? We really want to go super big. Cool. Sell the house instead of keep it. And now you quintuple your down payment that you were already saving for.
Exactly.
Last question, because you brought it up. Did you even consider school districts? Because you just said to me 5 or 7 years. Because I have to explain to people at your age, like with your children at your age, I should say. Did you consider school district?
Yes, we did. There's 2 areas that we really wanted to, that we really liked houses in 2 different areas that were in 2 different school districts. And the reason why we chose this house, which is the house we purchased, is because of the school district.
So that should you decide to stay a little longer, you're fine. Yeah,
exactly. We're not going to be stressing about it, but again, you never know what happens in 5-7 years. Maybe it's like, all right, we built a lot of equity here. Let's get out. Let's get into something new, right? Or let's go rent it out because we're financially in a good position. Because again, going back to what you said, is we can start now, right? So like we are starting now, saving for our future, right? So like, what does that entail? So we don't know yet. So we'll cross that bridge once we get there. But all we can kind of control it right now and enjoy what we got, which has been just a blessing to be in this position that we're in.
It's fantastic. Yeah, I've had people call me 3 years in that we're going to keep their first home, and then it's like, hey, twins. So David, let's fix that. We're going to sell this place because we need money.
Yeah, exactly.
Awesome. Dude, I could talk with you forever. So me and you and Chad, and Hawk, you're Chad. I'm going to bring up I'll come up and I'll cook my grandma's sauce, gravy for you people on the East Coast. And you bring the sourdough.
I got you. I make a mean rosemary garlic sourdough. So I think that'll pair perfect with it.
Dude. Oh my gosh. All right. Such amazing, wonderful insight. A young person like you without $100,000 or $50,000 getting a home for $500,000 and beating somebody out and getting a $40,000 discount. Bro, I appreciate it. Thanks for coming on, Chad.
Of course. No problem. Thanks for having me.
I just need to thank Chad so much for coming in, bringing in that story. I hope you got tools, tips, techniques, inspiration, and motivation. If you're looking to figure out what you want to do to take your next steps, you can go to howtobuyahome.com. You can ask me a question. You can talk to the AI David that lives on there, or you can just go, dude, let me talk to a unicorn. Let me see if I'm months, not years away from doing this. And if you want to listen to more episodes, go to that same website, look for the episode guide, and you'll find over 125 interviews of real people and hear their real stories. And these renters are now homeowners. It all starts with a new strategy for the new way that first-time homebuyers buy homes in the 2020s. And if you're still here and you're still listening to this, I think you can do this.
Looking for more DIY education or your own personal step-by-step guidance through the home buying journey? Since 2019, How to Buy a Home has been the #1 resource for first-time homebuyers. So visit howtobuyahome.com to get started.